Have you ever felt like you're running on a treadmill that just keeps getting faster? You follow all the rules. You hustle. You optimize. You chase that next promotion, that bigger house, that shinier car. But instead of feeling fulfilled, you feel exhausted. It's this deep, bone-weary exhaustion that a good night's sleep can't fix. This isn't just a feeling, it's a growing movement. All across America, people are starting to say, enough. They're not just taking a break, they're rejecting the entire system. They're walking away from high-powered careers, leaving bustling cities, and deliberately unplugging from the relentless noise of modern life. But why? What's pushing so many to abandon the path they were told would lead to happiness? It's a story of burnout, broken promises, and the radical decision to choose a different way of life. Let's rewind. For many, life before this breaking point looked incredibly productive from the outside. It was a life dictated by the gospel of hustle culture. You wake up before the sun, you answer emails before your first cup of coffee, you meal prep, you listen to productivity podcasts on your commute. Every minute of the day is a resource to be optimized. Your calendar is a Tetris game of meetings, deadlines, and social obligations you feel you have to attend. The pressure is immense. It's this constant, knowing feeling that you should always be doing more, achieving more, being more. You see it all over social media. The curated perfection, the success stories, the endless highlight reels. It creates a benchmark that's impossible to live up to. You're constantly comparing your real life to someone else's edited version. The message is clear. If you're not striving, you're failing. So you push harder, you sleep less, and you tell yourself that this is just what it takes. This is the price of admission to the good life. You believe that one day, all this sacrifice will pay off. You'll finally arrive at that magical destination where you can relax and enjoy the fruits of your labor. But for a growing number of people, that day never comes. Instead, something else arrives. The breaking moment. It rarely happens with a big, dramatic explosion. More often, it's a quiet implosion. It's sitting in your car in the office parking lot, unable to physically make yourself go inside. It's the moment your doctor looks at you with concern and tells you that your chronic stress is causing serious health problems. Maybe it's a panic attack in the middle of a grocery store, triggered by the overwhelming number of choices. It's the slow, dawning realization that you've been running a race you didn't even want to be in. This is burnout. It's not just feeling tired. It's a state of complete, emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion. You feel cynical about everything, detached from your work, and your sense of accomplishment evaporates. You start to see the system not as a ladder to success, but as a machine designed to extract every last drop of your energy. The American dream starts to feel more like an American nightmare. A bait and switch, where the promised reward is always just out of reach. You realize the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed, and you're just another cog in the machine. And in that moment of clarity, the only logical thing to do is to get out. So what does getting out actually look like? It's not about giving up. It's about consciously choosing a different set of values. It's the radical act of reclaiming your time, your health, and your sanity. For many, the first step is downsizing. This means selling the big house in the suburbs with its crushing mortgage and trading it for something smaller, more manageable. It's about realizing that possessions don't equal happiness. They often just equal more debt, more maintenance, and more stress. People are decluttering their lives, getting rid of things they don't need, and embracing a more minimalist mindset. It's about prioritizing experiences over things. Instead of buying the latest gadget, they're saving for a trip, learning a new skill, or simply spending more quality time with loved ones. It's a fundamental shift from a life of consumption to a life of intention. This shift often involves physically leaving the epicenters of hustle culture. People are fleeing major cities in droves, seeking a slower pace of life in smaller towns, rural areas, or even going completely off. They're trading the concrete jungle for actual jungles, or at least a backyard with a garden. This isn't just a change of scenery, it's a profound change in lifestyle. They're reconnecting with nature, growing their own food, and becoming part of smaller, tighter-knit communities where people know their neighbors. By unplugging from the 24/7 connectivity of the city, they're plugging into something more real, more than Hebly. They're finding that a quiet evening watching the sunset could be more fulfilling than a frantic night out. They're discovering that their worth isn't tied to their job title or their salary. And that brings us to the core of this movement: redefining success. The people who reject modern life aren't failures. They are pioneers. They are courageously defining success on their own terms. For them, success isn't a corner office. It's having the time to read a book without feeling guilty. It's not a luxury car. It's being debt-free. It's not a packed social calendar. It's having deep, meaningful connections with a few close friends. It's about building a life that feels good on the inside, not one that just looks good on the outside. This isn't a trend. It's a quiet revolution. It is a collective awakening to the fact that the old model of life is sustainable for our mental health, our physical well-being, or our planet. It's a powerful reminder that we have a choice. We don't have to accept the default settings of modern life. We can opt out. We can simplify. We can build a life that is slower, quieter, and ultimately, far richer. Have you ever felt like you're constantly running a race you never signed up for? Me too. But what happens when you decide to just stop? Well, life gets quieter. It gets slower. It gets smaller, but it also gets so much lighter. Imagine a life with less pressure to perform, less comparing yourself to others on a highlight reel, and less of that constant, buzzing stimulation that leaves you feeling drained. Instead, you find more presence. You're actually here, in this moment. You get more sleep. Real, restorative sleep. You build deeper connections with the people who truly matter. And most importantly, you regain control over your own time. Your days are yours again. Now, this path isn't perfect. It's not always easy, but it feels human, it feels real. This got me thinking, and have you been stuck in this question loop? What if we've got the definition of success all wrong? What if true success isn't about more? What if it's about less? Less noise in our heads, less stress in our bodies, less speed and more intention, less pressure to be someone we're not. What if we started trading a little bit of that so-called comfort for a whole lot of calm? Trading convenience for clarity, and trading status for silence. Would that be so bad? When you see people stepping back, making these unconventional choices, it's not because they're giving up. It's a signal that the system we're in is running way too fast, and our culture is burning people out. Some of us have realized that instead of trying to fight a system that is designed to break us, it's healthier to just leave it. It's a quiet rebellion, happening one person at a time. It's a choice to redefine what a good life looks like, because modern life promises us comfort and convenience, but more and more of us are finding that we'd rather choose peace instead. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Have you ever felt this pull to escape it all? Or have you already taken steps to simplify your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear your stories and perspectives on this. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more conversations about living a more intentional life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.